This is Group 6, and here we are presenting our heuristic evaluation on the Miami-Dade College student portal. Just to summarize what we have going on here, we have identified 4 main issues and 4 solutions for these issues. Our objective is to evaluate the website from a heuristic perspective. Here you can see the old portal and our proposed portal.
Hello, my name is Alberto Hernandez, and I will be conducting the second half of our research presentation. I'm going to be starting off with the statement of the problem, which essentially means which problems are we investigating. Now, after heuristic evaluation and extensive first and second hand research, we've found 4 key issues within the MDC student portal. The first being inconsistent navigation labels being used interchangeably across the portal, significantly disrupting user navigation and task completion efficiency. The second being the absence of clear and immediate system feedback following crucial actions, leaving users uncertain and prone to repeating actions unnecessarily. Our third being critical tasks require excessive steps, frustrating users, especially on mobile devices. And lastly, inadequate error prevention and handling mechanisms, creating additional usability barriers. We're going to go a little bit deeper on these issues on our next slide, which is our scope. Now, our scope is specifically the closer look at these issues. Now, again, we've conducted heuristic evaluation, and in terms of first-hand research, we've conducted research with 6 students, 3 on mobile devices and 3 on desktop, to really stress test this portal. So, firstly, when it comes to the inconsistent labels, we are talking about the enroll, plan, and search buttons, which can be found throughout the portal and have different functions depending on the page, which causes which disrupts user navigation, causing a lot of frustration and confusion. Secondly, the lack of any clear or immediate system feedback after paying tuition, which leads to repeated actions. There is nothing displayed on the screen after a student pays for their tuition, which leads them to, of course, continuously pressing the button, thinking that nothing is happening, when in reality, we're just repeating our actions again and again, which can cause issues for this portal in the user's end. Third is accessing academic records requires excessive amount of steps, especially on mobile devices. We noticed that students on mobile devices uh, and on desktop, but specifically on mobile devices, there's so many layers of pages to go through and so many buttons to click just to see their academic records. It's very slow, very sluggish experience. Lastly, is inadequate error prevention and handling mechanisms when dropping courses. We notice students will try to drop any course that they have within the portal, and there will be an issue, an error will pop up on the screen, which is frustrating because it causes the user to have to restart the whole process essentially and do it again. And sometimes these issues are repeated. Sometimes it'll fail and then they'll try again and it'll fail again, which is very frustrating. If we were to address these issues directly, we can significantly enhance user satisfaction, reduce confusion, and streamline overall experiences. The NDC portal has always been notorious, and if we were to fix these issues, I believe students can have a better experience just doing basic tasks like adding and dropping their classes. Now, let's move on to my final part of this research presentation, which is the methods, specifically the methods of research. So, firstly, we have our heuristic evaluation. Our heuristic evaluation involved analyzing the portal using Jacob Nielsen's usability principles, which primarily focused on visibility system status, consistency and standards, user control and freedom, and error prevention, essentially quality of life for the user. Each area of the portal relevant to student tasks was rigorously assessed against these heuristics, with findings documented and categorized based on its severity. Now, secondly, we have our user testing. A user testing session was conducted with 6 current MDC students, equally divided between desktop and mobile users, as I mentioned earlier. Each participant performed standardized tasks such as class registration, tuition payment, accessing academic records, completion times. I'm sorry, observation, completion times, and user feedback were systemically documented, which highlighted pain points and informing the evaluation findings. Essentially, this is how we were able to find our issues with the tuition, with the inconsistent navigation buttons, with the academic research taking so many pages to click through, with the failures of dropping classes. This was found with user testing, with our first-hand research. Now, our secondary research is research stemmed from established usability guidelines provided by usability.gov, which is peer-reviewed literature from the ACM Digital Library and foundational tests from Jacob Nielsen, Steve Krug, Jesse Garrett. This comprehensive approach ensures that recommendations are grounded in recognized best practices and contemporary usability research. Essentially, we looked into research conducted by these professionals, and we noticed that according to their guidelines, the Miami Dade portal uh, suffers through a lot of issues, especially for uh, user interaction. Now, this will be the end of my portion, and I will be passing it off to Fernando.
Hello, my name is Fernando Badia, and I will be presenting the very last part of this research project. Here we have our findings and proposed solutions. Finding number 1, inconsistent navigation and terminology. A critical usability flaw identified during our evaluation was the inconsistent use of navigation labels across the portal. Confusion caused by inconsistent labeling was a recurring theme during user testing. Several testers repeatedly navigated to the wrong page, resulting in frustration and wasted time. From a usability perspective, this violates one of our core usability heuristics, consistency and standards. Finding 2, lack of system feedback. This pertains specifically towards making payments. Students in the user test often clicked the Pay Now button and saw no immediate success or error message. A proposed solution, an on-screen pop-up confirming successful payments along with a confirmation number should appear as soon as the transaction processes. A simple progress indicator would also reassure users that the system is working. Immediate confirmation significantly reduces user anxiety and prevents accidental double payments. Finding 3, poor mobile and web interaction. Basically, in particular, reaching essential sections such as academic record demands 4 separate screens or menu clicks, and this is even more tedious in mobile where screen real estate is limited and navigation becomes even worse. During user testing, all 3 mobile users expressed frustration at the number of actions needed to perform what should be a simple task. Our solution is to improve the layout of the page itself, have key student actions directly on the home page or within one click. Implementing a more modern responsive design framework like Bootstrap would enable important functions and sections to be featured prominently across all screen sizes. And our very last finding, insufficient error handling, pertains specifically to when students who dropped the course. During the user testing, they would receive no warning message about potential scheduling conflicts or penalties, and they were unable to undo the action without leaving the page and contacting support. A prominent warning or "Are you sure?" prompt before finalizing drops could avert accidental actions. Furthermore, a brief grace period such as a 60-second undo button would reduce regrets and help keep students feeling better about it. We reported all of our findings to the MDC Information Technology team responsible for maintaining the portal. We believe that our findings will also be very beneficial to academic advisors and college administrators who oversee resource allocation for campus-wide technology upgrades. And to conclude, MDC Student Portal is an indispensable tool. It contains several shortcomings that interfere with the core user tasks of registering for classes, accessing records, and making tuition payments. Ultimately, enhancing usability will directly support student success, improve institutional efficiency, and positively influence MDC's reputation.